Yeah, first I want to give a huge thank you to Coach Gard and his staff and the University of Wisconsin for having us up here. These games are getting harder and harder with all the scheduling, um, things that are going on in college basketball and the things that the teams, particularly teams in the Big Ten and Power Four, that have to commit to get these games. And so this was a hell of an experience for our guys to be able to play in front of this type of atmosphere and against a quality team like Wisconsin. So I want to first off thank Wisconsin for hosting us. Everything has been first class as long as we can get through the next couple minutes here. It's been other than the outcome of the game, it's been a great experience. I think Greg's got a really good team. I think he's done a great job. His guards are phenomenal, and he's done a great job of putting pieces around those guys that can stretch the floor and allow them to operate the way that they need to. I think what has been built here at Wisconsin over time is really special. What they've done. Well, I graduated in 2000, so the last 30 years of what Wisconsin basketball has become, I think is special and should be appreciated. The type of program that they have been very successful. Obviously, the three-point shooting hurt us, their size hurt us, and we didn't have a lot of answers. And I thought, once we got the deer in headlights look off our faces the first half, we did some good things on the back end of the first half. I thought we did some things coming out of halftime that were okay, and then we got pretty offensively sensitive when things weren't going our way. It affected our defensive effort, and things got out of hand.
Questions for Coach? Michael?
You mentioned those last 10 minutes of the first half. What were you guys doing better, and what was Wisconsin struggling with?
Well, I just thought our purpose defensively, our intensity picked up. I thought we played. I was really surprised. I thought we'd be overexcited to start the game, and I think we were just the opposite. I thought we came out. I scared is probably too harsh a word, but I went to Indiana. My vocabulary is not that big, but we just didn't have. You like that, huh? No, one thing I was worried about is us being too amped up to play. I thought we had a good walkthrough pregame. I thought was pretty good, but we came out on our heels, and then I think once we settled into the game, we did some good things there in the back end of the first half. I think the 1-3-1 bothered them a little bit. I'm not sure that was something we hadn't shown that yet. This is a great time for us. Something I want to do. It's a good time to work on it a little bit, and I think it got them standing around. That was a good chance to break their flow, and it did some things for us in the second half. But that's a good team, and when they can space you like that, they're really difficult to defend. And they make 14 threes tonight, so that's going to be difficult for a lot of teams.
Right up front here, if we could get a mic, please.
Coach, their team had 20 assists. The bigs, those four accounted for 9 of them. What did you see from those four, kind of passing both the experienced guys and the freshmen as well?
Yeah, we're gonna use this tape a lot to show our guys. We only had 9 assists, and it's, our first game was against Louisiana, and I thought we played really well, and we shot over 50% because we passed the basketball. Our second game was against a non-Division I opponent, and I wasn't real pleased with how we played. Like, if we'd have lost Louisiana, you'd have been disappointed, but I was going to be pleased with how we competed and played. Against Mansfield, I was not, and we won by 30. Outside of the last 10 minutes, we didn't play particularly well. Tonight, obviously, we were fighting uphill, but I didn't think we moved and shared the basketball on offense the way that we're capable of doing, and I think it shows in our percentages. There's a fine line for us to be good. One, we got to be pretty good defensively, and you're not going to look great against a team like Wisconsin. But against our level of competition, we need to be really good defensively, and then we need to be able to be difficult to defend on offense. And to do that, you got to be able to move the ball. So their 20 assists, I already talked to my team about, we only had 9. And we got to be able to move the ball. And, I think with the transfer portal era, the guys are still trying to figure each other out. And we got some guys that are just, they're squeezing it too tight, trying to force things to happen instead of just letting the game come to them.
Along
John
those
up front.
Along those lines, anything in particular that their defense is doing that's making it maybe especially challenging for you guys to move the ball tonight?
Yeah, they're big. Yeah, I mean, we don't see that size. You know, and so some of those drives you get in there and, you know, you can raise up and shoot over a 6'5" guy where they got 7-footer standing in there playing volleyball with it, you know. So, you know, some of that stuff, you know, is just part of playing a different level of competition. That's why we signed up for it. But I thought there was a lot of opportunities where we could have kicked it out for some rhythm threes, and we didn't shoot it particularly well tonight. But, you know, Wisconsin had a lot to do with that. But you got to be willing to pass the ball.
Nick?
Coach, you touched on size a little bit,
Can I drink this?
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan, man.
but a guy like Nolan Winter, obviously at his size, who can, you know, score down low, of course, stretch the floor and be a little bit of a rim protector. I think 3 or 4 blocks tonight. Just what makes him such a tough matchup, really on both sides.
Well, I mean, for us, I mean, he could have just parked it on the block and been a real tough matchup. But when you're able to do that and move the way that he does, and then stretch the floor, and you know that they got 2 bigs on the floor most times that can stretch it, and so. And how they play offensively, you know, you got to kind of pick and choose. And, you know, we tried to, a lot of times, you know, when you're playing light competition, the mismatch doesn't beat you, the open man will beat you. And tonight, you know, we tried to switch a little bit. We tried to, soft hedge a little bit, and more in the second half to try to keep a natural matchup. But their size and then their ability to stretch the floor really caused problems. So when you can park big dudes out there on the perimeter, that are shooting horse shots, it's really difficult to defend. Like there was a couple possessions I thought we were in pretty good spots. Our rotation was pretty good. Our hand activity was pretty good, and a dude just shoots it over your head. So like, you know, that's a problem. I mean, it's a good basketball team. You know how that you know equates to the Big Ten. I've spent a lot of years in the Big Ten. You know, I don't know, but I think they can present some problems, and I think it's the best basketball league in the country.
Any more questions for Coach? Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.